would you recommend Joe Harriott's Indo Jazz album to a first time jazz listener? Like you were talking to one of your friends. Oh, hey, by the way, check out this jazz album.
Yeah. No,
No,
I wouldn't.
no.
I wouldn't. No. Well, and
Well,
seriously, I had to go. I asked Caleb because he has done music appreciation. And I said, do you understand what jazz is? What makes jazz jazz? Because as I'm listening to this, I have no idea. I couldn't even wrap my head around. So what actually is jazz? Because that doesn't make sense.
What's Louis Armstrong say about jazz?
if I got to explain it, you'll never understand it.
That's good.
Knuckles.
That's good.
Boom.
Boom. And I have to say, after a week, 2 years ago is where we wrestled with this. I had no idea what jazz was. Here we are
Right.
2 years later, and I've had the opportunity to listen to instructors talk about it. And I come back to this. It's a feeling.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's the freedom to express your innermost thoughts. It's a freedom to express uh, the things that are going on in your head and your mind in a way. It's a communication form. It's a way to talk about and present what's really happening, and it's a language.
Yeah. Well, so thinking of that with the Indo Jazz thing, I know we're not still on the slide here or whatever, but if you gave an American jazz and they went, okay, I've never heard jazz, what would an Indian do if they heard Indo Jazz for the first time? Right? Would they go, oh yeah, it kind of sounds like our music, but that's funky, that's different, that's jazz, that's free flow? Because I would think in my study that I did that they're more of a free flow, right? It was the way in which they passed down. You said oral tradition, right? That orality of that's all they do to teach, right?
Yeah.
You learn this style, then you just make it happen, right? You don't have all the music theory, you don't have to have all the structure. So even as Daryl was showing me the way that he composes, he's got an app now that he can compose on. It'll have, everybody structured, and then it'll just say trumpet solo. There's nothing there. And I was like, so those guys were just freestyling in that. How do they know that this goes up, goes down, goes this, goes da 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 da? Because they flow with that even in their solo. It's like that doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
I'm a little more structured anyway. I would think you would
and
have some sheet music, but Indians might just be like, we're free flow anyway, so
Cool. Let's
it
do it.
worked.
in
Yeah, I don't know.
free form, I was listening to the documentary that you sent me earlier. In free form, it's here's a key signature.
Yeah,
We're going to play in modal jazz. You're playing over an Ionian or a
Mixolydian.
Phrygian, um,
mm,
Mixolydian. And then
yeah,
in a chord chart in jazz, they're going to say play the C7. They're going to play followed by an E flat, followed by a. And so for most jazz improvisers, they're going to say, well, here's a chord chart.
Yep.
But it sounds
Yeah,
like
but the chord chart also has a time signature and
right.
a
yeah,
speed, a tempo.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you've got your instructions about okay, we're
yeah.
going to play this one at 180 in 2/4 time, and yeah, I need the F7 chord, I need the B flat 7, and I need the yeah
C major 7.
B C yeah the C
C
major
major
7.
seven.
I just out there. Because that's the one I looked up today. I'm like, why jazz is what jazz chords are.
Yeah.
Like C
Yeah.
major 7, the D minor 7, the
And
G,
Phil,
whatever.
as a guitarist, you understand the chords, what the chords are. A tritone,
Yeah,
the fifth,
yep,
the seventh, the ninth, a dominant ninth, or a flat 7 or a flat 5.
yeah.
Because
Caleb understands
guitar
that
theory
stuff.
would have taught you that.
Caleb understands
As a
that.
horn
Yeah,
player, if somebody says play the C major, the C major chord or C chord, C7 chord,
yeah,
I have to think about what notes goes into that scale.
yeah. First,
And
third,
so,
and seventh.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
well, one,
Hey,
three,
and
5, and 7. Yeah,
seriously, you guys should get Caleb on here because he appreciates music. He's a sax player,
yeah.
right? And I asked him the other night. I said, "Hey, you think you'd ever do something like that?" Because both the boys were like, "Whoa, that was cool!" Like Wednesday night, they're so glad they came back, and they had to leave their buddy. right? So the fact that they got
Yeah.
to come back was not just because they enjoyed listening to Delaney, but yeah, he enjoys it and he understands theory stuff. So you could throw a couple things out there, and he's telling me crap on guitar that I'm like, Caleb, I still have no idea what you're talking about. That it's this first, third, seventh, this is the ninth because this is diminished. It goes to like he gets all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Rick,
see,
yeah. Hey, Rick, look out. We're coming for you. I don't know if you ever watch Rick Beato on YouTube, but he's a music producer, music player,
Oh, yeah.
played for a long time. And he talks about, oh yeah, here in Taylor Swift's song, she uses that A sus7 chord, blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, I mean, it's above, we laugh about it on our channel a lot. If you want that kind of jazz talk, go watch Rick Beato, but we're just going to talk about how the album makes us feel. But you're getting there.
Yeah,
You're turning us into Rick Beato.
Yeah, throw him in here, invite him in, especially if he listens to like what the next 4 or so, and just goes, "Ooh, I'd like to sit in on that one." Yeah.
So let me ask you, Drew, would you recommend Indo Jazz to a first-time listener?
No.
No, you wouldn't.
No.
Okay, I'd like to be able to say no that I would not, but I cannot because I would be telling a lie because I did.
Yeah. Well, and it's, well, it's just like
it
this.
didn't make me appreciate jazz.
I'll just say that. The hard part is would I immediately I would say no, but the fact is that it's jazz, and if you go by a feel, how does it make you feel? Is it an emotional roller coaster to listen to it? It is, and I would also say I'm not going to tell anybody to go listen to indie music either, though.
No,
the sitar is not something high on my priority list, but yeah, I can take the sitar longer and easier than I can take bagpipes.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
and I love Irish music. I love Irish music. But you throw a bagpipe on a stage for an hour and a half, and I'm just like out. Yeah. I think I could.
You know that I think I could jazz. They use a solid tone for torture techniques. Just play a tone in somebody's ear for a long time, it'll drive them crazy. And so the drone of a bagpipe, it will drive me nuts.
Yeah.
I love the bagpipes, but in short, brief periods in the right setting. Gaelic Storm, for instance, I mean, they've got a piper that's phenomenal. And
if you're going to let it go for an hour, the right setting for me is that there's a cold beer waiting. And a bunch of them. Some bangers of mash and a couple of pints. Let that bagpiper go for an hour. I'm good.
No wonder
they're drowning it.
Finish it off with some Jameson and
amen.
No. Hard before beer.
Oh yeah.
You taught us that when we were kids.
Hard
before beer.
Yeah.
You're in the clear.
Before liquor.
Never sicker. Ever sicker.
Yeah. Sicker.
So. No, it's
scary.
That's all right. Well, we got a heavy hitter coming up next week. It's going to be easy to talk about Herbie Hancock.
Yeah, you're going to have to cut it
short. The new standard is a great album, anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to, I'd love to. This has been awesome. This has
been cool.
Well, definitely. So I can make next week's really easy. 1 degree. He played with
1 degree of separation.
1 degree.
Yeah. They played together a lot, so it's going to be an easy one.
Yeah. Oh, man. What a fun show.
Now, the week after that, Comida Quintet.
This would be closer to Phil. He could probably...
Polish.
He could probably address some of that.
Yeah, definitely. Polish.
So this one will be easy to talk about.
Yeah.
You'll have to, you won't have to do much research because literally you listen to the album and the way that it makes you feel. I mean, I'll do some research, but
he's not Gregory Porter because he was earlier, right?
Herbie?
Yeah.
No, he's still around. He's still Herbie's a piano player.
Okay.
Porter's a vocalist.
Yeah.
Man, this is going to be an easy week. Now, Comida is going to be a little bit harder. I was worried about this week, actually. I was worried about this recording tonight.
Well, it was funny because I had a lot more notes.
I did too. I had notes up there.
But I think the direction it went is the direction it was supposed to go.
Yeah, for sure.
It was funny to me to find the 6 degrees so easy.
That is.
And you were like, I really struggled to find something. I was like, oh man, come on. I almost got a second page to start writing all the connections down, but they were third and fourth connections. But you know where I got my connection of Tony Kinsey? The documentary.
Yeah, here's the problem. I was probably working on a ticket while I was listening to the documentary. Yeah. I took some notes during the documentary, and then there was other times where I flipped out working on a ticket.
And I had already played the Sarah Vaughan with Tony.
Yeah.
But if you look at who all Tony played with, that list is like it's like a Christmas kid's scroll.
Like a Miles Davis.
Yeah.
A Miles Davis.
But he was British.
Yes, look, I even got Miles's site. I even got Miles's site pulled up, and I was looking through names.
Yep. Mulligan was a Barry sax player.
Yeah, well, yeah, Mulligan, but how could you? Well, Cannonball Adderley, but how could you get Mulligan and Joe Harriott? I don't think they played together.
Only
did you guys know
they did play together in Paris.
They played together live, but they never really worked on. No, we did not.
You guys didn't know these names before you started.
No,
you guys are ripping off names. I'm like, how do you even?
No.
Who would have heard of this
guy?
Well,
and here's the thing, Django.
Yeah.
I had never heard of Django before.
Yeah.